Alright, good morning everyone and welcome to the stream. How's everyone doing today? Hope I find you well. People are saying that the camera was on again. What the fuck is going on with this camera? Maybe it's a different piece of fan art that's malfunctioning than what I thought. I'm gonna watch, as I'm recording here guys, I'm gonna watch the pre-stream and see if we can get to the bottom of what piece of fan art is it that's malfunctioning. It sounds like a piece of fan art somehow screwed up, and because it's screwed up now it's not showing up in the pre-stream. It's just showing the camera, and I don't know what one it is. I gotta figure out which one it is in order to remove it and fix it. I have a hunch of which one it is. I think it's the M. Bison picture that I added yesterday. Because here's the thing, there's two things going on here that are annoying me this morning and made me start the pre-stream a little late. First of all, Windows fucking sucks, and always has, and probably always will, even though it is the dominant operating system and you pretty much can't do much about it. If you're operating a computer, you have to use Windows unless you're on an Apple, right? So, that being said, on Windows, there's a weird thing. Let's say, for example, you download a file with exactly the same name, okay, on Windows. What Windows will do is they will add that file to your computer, but give it the same name with a 1 in parentheses after the name. It's a way for them to classify this isn't the original, this is 1, meaning like the first copy or something like that, okay? Now, it's supposed to save the different file. For example, let's say you had a picture of, I don't know, a squirrel, and you had a picture of a happy face, and the name of it was happy.jpg. Well, it would save the squirrel first as happy.jpg, then it would save the happy face as happy.jpg. Well, actually, it would be happy, parentheses 1, close parentheses, .jpg. That's how Windows does this if you're saving two files with the same file name, all right? The problem is when Windows does that, it glitches. It always has. Since Windows existed, this was a problem, okay? When it saves that second file, all right, it screws everything up in your computer. Here's what I mean by that. Now that the computer thinks that those two files are the same file, even if they're not. So even if that file is a different picture, the computer will think it's the same picture no matter what. I don't know why it does this, but I've always noticed this issue with Windows. Okay? So, what happened this morning was I downloaded a piece of fan art, and then this person made a second piece of fan art and accidentally used exactly the same file name. Now, I didn't realize that. I just downloaded the two pieces off of my email and added it to the slideshow, and here we go. And people are like, Phil, one of these fan arts is transparent because we can see your camera. So I'm trying to figure it out. I'm like, I know what happened. It's because the two of them were the same name. So it's screwed up, so let me rename. So I did. I renamed it completely. I named it, one of them I named Deathloop because it's a Deathloop piece of fan art. And the other one I left as the default name. Alright? And I'm like, this should maybe solve the problem. Apparently not. Because it did show up at first, but now people are saying, oh, I can see the camera again. Which means that obviously it didn't work. It's fucked up. I don't know how to fix this. You know, this is stupid as shit. Windows is just dumb in certain ways. And this is one of the ways that Windows has always been boneheady. That it fucks the files up. And even if I resave this file as a completely different file name, it still fucks it up. So I'm not even sure what to do. I gotta figure out what piece of fan art it is. Like I said, I think it's the fan art that's the M. Bison fan art from yesterday, because that was the one that I was using yesterday in the slideshow, but then this morning the person sent me a piece of fan art with the same exact file name. So now I got that working because I renamed it, but now the original doesn't seem to be working, so I may have to delete that and re-add it as a new name to get it to work, which sucks because the M. Bison fan art is actually really nice. So anyway, that's happening right now. And then on top of that, as you guys know, recently, my chair has begun to squeak. In the last week to week and a half, my chair has started to squeak pretty badly, right? You guys have probably heard it. Pretty bad squeaking on the stream. And people are like, isn't that a new chair? I'm like, yeah, it is. I've had it for about, 2 months now? And I absolutely love this chair. This chair is amazingly comfortable and has definitely improved my experience gaming here. Like I said, I've done 2 marathons in this chair, and when I'm done with the marathon, I get up and I don't feel sore or tired or anything. I feel good. It gives me lumbar support. It gives me the proper support on my butt and my legs, and I can, if I want to, I can kick up my legs because it has a footrest. It's a really nice gaming chair slash PC chair, because actually I believe it was originally designed for like extended PC use in an office, but then they realized if they marketed it for gaming, they'd make more money. So I love the chair, but all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the chair starts squeaking. Now, the weird thing about this is most chairs that squeak have an issue with either the spring or the hydraulic in it that lets it lift or dip. This chair doesn't have a height adjustment. So it's got to be in the primary hinge on the bottom of the chair where the chair just basically sits and rotates where this is happening. So this morning I had enough. It was so loud. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, I've had enough. And I've got my WD-40, which I knew I had. It was downstairs in a cabinet. I got my WD-40 out. I said, fuck this. I'm going to lubricate the shit out of this. So I turned the chair on its side. I'm spraying the top hinge, the bottom hinge, everywhere. It's still squeaking badly. I'm like, what the fuck? I sprayed all the hinges and I realized there's a different, like, bracket underneath. If you completely flip the chair, over, underneath there's a thing there that the lubrication hasn't reached. So I sprayed the shit out of that and I put paper towels on the floor under this chair. So as the WD-40 is going to drip out of it, it doesn't stain my fucking carpet. Okay? So I lubed the fuck out of the chair. There's nothing else I could possibly do. Like, I literally put so much lube. I put it in the top and in the bottom hinge here where the chair is sitting on this bracket, all right, to support it to stand up. And here's the result. It's not as loud, but it's definitely still squeaking. You can hear it. I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do about it. I've put lubrication in the areas that are making the noise, and they're still making the noise. So it seems like there's this way they designed this chair. There's no way to stop that. It's going to happen after a few months of use. The chair's going to settle into a certain position, and that position's going to probably have friction between two pieces of metal, and it's going to cause this squeak. And it doesn't seem like there's any way to solve it. It's just the engineering of the chair. Okay? I can't win with these chairs. Like, don't get me wrong. I like the chair. It's comfortable and everything. But why is it that you can't find a chair that doesn't fucking break down within a few months and have issues? Like, the chair over there that I got, the hydraulic thing broke within 3 months, and it lifts up and then it just sinks down when you're sitting in it, and you break your ass because the hydraulic broke. All right? In this one, now it just fucking creaks and squeaks. There's nothing you can do about it. I mean, what do you want me to do? I literally sprayed all the hinges, or all the connections down in the bottom where metal would be touching metal. I don't know. I just don't know. What are you going to do? Are you going to spend $700 on a fucking chair so that you get one that hopefully doesn't have issues like this? Not that this one was cheap. This chair was not cheap. It wasn't super expensive, but also it wasn't cheap. Pretty ridiculous. Golden Cold says, WD-40 is not a lubricant, it's a solvent. It displaces water and prevents rust. Is that why the very first thing that it says on the can is stops squeaks? That's literally the first thing it says on the can. Multi-use product, stops squeaks. Well, anyway, I don't know if this isn't working. The only other thing I can think of, like you said, is to get like a pure lube or something, which you can buy. I don't know what I would get. Some kind of grease, right? I'd actually have to buy some kind of grease for it. That's all I could think of. Get some kind of thick grease and try to put it into the bottom hinge thing. And hopefully the thick-ass grease would make it so that there's enough, or not enough friction that it would stop the squeaking, right? Well, it is what it is. This is all I had in the house. I don't have thick grease anywhere sitting around my house. So anyway, guys, I apologize. I really tried this morning to make this thing to stop doing it, and it won't stop doing it. It's still fucking squeaking. By the way, has the webcam showed up yet? I don't think so. I'm watching the fan art, and I have not seen the webcam show up yet. I think what it is I have so much fan art now. I have like over 30 plus pieces that it takes so long to rotate through the fan art rotation that you don't even notice when the camera gets shown up because it's so quick, I don't know. I do think it's the M. Bison picture that's fucked up. I really feel that's what it is. Let me think about this. Oh, this fucking PC. Hold on a second. I'm gonna try to fix it right now. I've had enough. I've had enough. I'm not putting up with bullshit today. Oh, it's because it's gone. It deleted it. What the fuck? It deleted the fan art. What the fuck? Why did it do that? Wow. Now I know why it's fucked up. Hold on. No, I don't fucking see it. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh. Wow. It's gone. Fucking gone. Oh my god, I hate this fucking computer. I hate everything. I hate it all. This is ridiculous. It's gone now. It's missing. The fan art's just gone. Right. Pain in my fucking ass. Doesn't even make sense. Why would it fucking do this? It's so stupid. Oh my god. Fuck this. Oh, this email sucks too. Everything sucks. Here it is. So now, okay, this should work. Cut. I'm gonna rename it. Young Bison Art. Okay. Fuck. So what is this? 13 years. That one works. So it's got to be this one down here. This one. Okay. I'll rename this one Proto Man Art. Okay. This should fix it. So we got M-Bison, Proto Man, that one, and that one. Okay. That should fix it. Holy fucking shit. What a bunch of fucking ridiculous, overcomplicated fucking horseshit nonsense. I've never seen anything worse than this before. Where the fuck's my cursor? Fuck. Okay. That's it. That's it. I fixed it. Fuck this. What a pain in the fucking ass. Seriously. I fixed it. I renamed every piece of artwork to be something different. And thank you very much. The person actually resent the art here live on stream. They must be on the pre-stream hearing what I'm going through. And they resent the artwork. So now I have the M. Bison art re-added. So you should see 4 pieces of art from the same person. There's one that says 13-year anniversary. There's one that says it's Proto Man, which is pretty cool. There's one that's M. Bison, and there's one now that's Deathloop. Because that's what we're doing today. If you can believe it, 15 minutes into the pre-stream, we're actually playing a game today. Yeah, we're playing a game today, guys. Can you believe it? Very exciting. Okay, I know. On a gameplay stream, we play gameplay. Who would have thunk it? But it is true. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream. How you doing? Sorry. Seriously, sorry about that. That was incredibly fucking annoying. But now we can get started. And I hope you guys are ready. I'm certainly fucking ready. By the way, breaking news. Rest in peace to Norm Macdonald. The previous Saturday Night Live alumnus. Alum, I guess you say. And comedian. He passed away. He had a 9-year battle with cancer. Damn. It's weird because you didn't know what happened to him. He, like, disappeared. From the public eye for a very long time. It was weird because, you know, Norm Macdonald, I remember in the 90s, he was actually very, very pertinent, you know, to comedy. Yeah. He used to totally be on all the late night shows. He used to do stand-up comedy. He used to be in movies, and then he just disappeared, and now we know why. He had cancer real bad. Fuck, that sucks. Well, rest in peace to Norm Macdonald, who was a comedy legend at one point. You know, that's why we haven't seen him in a very long time, and now we know why. Damn, that sucks. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, today is Tuesday, September 14th, 2021. I am DSP, and I am here to bring to you a brand new game playthrough, a new game that just came out today, a game that, quite frankly, I'll be honest with you, I think a lot of people weren't expecting much out of until all of a sudden, everyone who was graced with an early review copy because they're the special snowflakes of the gaming world, were able to do early release reviews. And they've all kind of collectively come together and said that this game is actually incredibly good. Possibly Game of the Year contender for 2021. The game we were talking about is Deathloop. A game that originally was being developed by Arcane Studios when they were an independent studio. And they signed a deal to make this game PlayStation 5 exclusive. When I say console exclusive, because it is on PC as well, but it's a PlayStation 5 console exclusive for about a year. And then Arcane Studios got bought out by Microsoft when Microsoft bought Bethesda. Bethesda was the owner of Arcane. So what we have today is a game made by a Microsoft-owned studio that's a PS5 console exclusive for a year. I know that sounds really weird. Really, really weird. But that's what we're doing today. So, for those who don't know, Arcane made Dishonored and a bunch of other games as well. They also made Prey and a few other great games over the years. And personally, I thought Prey was outstanding. I really liked Dishonored 1. I thought Dishonored 2 was alright. Didn't like the Dishonored standalone expansion that they did. But this game supposedly is a unique combination of factors. You've got gameplay that's very reminiscent of Dishonored. But you have a time loop element, much like a roguelike game, where you don't care if you die or not. You're trying to experiment to find the best ways to get to your targets so that you can do a perfect run and run through and kill the target and then move on without basically getting killed yourself. Now, supposedly, the game is going to build upon itself more and more and more. And what I mean by that is, as you play through, you find, oh, here's a new way to go through. Here's a door you can unlock. Here's an ability you can learn. And you can keep that ability, or you can upgrade your weapon. You can keep that upgrade throughout the certain loops. You're not just stuck with having to start over from scratch, which is good. Because I played Returnal, and in Returnal, you always have to start over from scratch, and the game fucking sucks because of it. But then I play a game like Hades, and in Hades, you get to keep the vast majority of things that you find. You get permanent upgrades almost every single time that you die, and the game feels like it's worth your time. So, I would believe that this game probably is going to be more like Hades than Returnal, and that's a good thing. If every time that you die, you're learning something critical to allow you to succeed. Oh, I found a new path. Oh, I found a new way to take out these enemies. Oh, I got a new ability now. Oh, I upgraded my weapon. Whenever you get progress in a game like this, it's worth your time and it feels good. It feels like, man, I did something worthwhile. If you just sit here and you fail 30 times in a row and the game gives you zero progression in those 30 times, then you're just wasting your time. You're spinning your fucking wheels, you know? So I hope that this game definitely is more like Hades in that regard. It certainly sounds like it is, all right? Now, in the game, there's a bunch of targets you need to kill, and the goal is to do a perfect run where basically within one day on this island, you go and kill all 6 targets. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? Obviously, it's going to take quite a long time to get to the point where you can do that, all right? It's going to be a while before you can run through and just kill everything in one run. But I feel like it's going to be an interesting journey getting there. The reports are that the story is outstanding. The story actually is a highlight of the game, unlike other roguelikes where really the story can take a backseat to the gameplay. In this game, the story is actually really, really important, okay? Now, another interesting factoid about the game, there's a PvP element. When you're playing Deathloop with online play enabled, people have the ability to invade your game a la Dark Souls. And they play the character, I don't know the character's name, it's this female assassin who's like a sniper, and she will run through the map trying to stop you from killing your targets. And apparently if you succeed at stopping her from killing you, then you get a bunch of rewards and bonuses. But if you're playing as her, it's a completely different aspect of the gameplay where you can, if you kill your target, then you get like leveling and you get new abilities and things unlocked to go back and further assassination runs and things. So basically you could play the game by itself and play it as a single player campaign, or you could actually play it as the invader, which adds a whole new element to the game. Okay? That's neat. That's actually, in my opinion, that's pretty well thought out. Now, of course, we have to see how that's actually going to be implemented in the game, but that sounds pretty well thought out. That sounds like not only are you going to want to play through the main game, but you're going to want to dabble in playing as the killer who invades as well, and you get both sides of the equation, and it ends up being a really awesome you know, experience. It's not just all the same thing over and over and over, although, yes, admittedly, that will probably be the meat of the game. Now, from what I'm going to understand, if you're pretty good at it, you can probably beat the game between 15 to 20 hours long, because there's 6 different target / areas you need to go to do this perfect run. And it takes a few hours for each one, right? If it takes you like 2-3 hours for each area to figure out the perfect way to do it, I can totally understand why it would take that long. Now, some people are saying if basically you're having issues with the invader, if you're having issues learning the areas, it could take you upwards of 25 or more hours to beat Deathloop, okay? What I'm curious about is thus, and this is going to be, I feel, this is going to be the defining factor of whether or not I feel this is a Game of the Year contender or not, okay? That's a long time to be replaying the same stages, the same areas, etc., right? Will this game retain interest? Or will this be a game where the first few runs is exciting and interesting, and then we all get bored because you're doing the same thing over and over, just looking for that one nuanced way? Maybe there's a door we haven't seen yet, or a window you can climb through, something we didn't see that allows you to go through for the perfect run and we weren't aware of it. And then when you finally have it, oh, it's a moment of realization, but did you want to really play for like 40 minutes before you found it? You see? That's going to be my question. When I'm playing Hades, all right, as the game progresses in Hades, you get so powerful, you can turbo through most of the low-level stuff. It's not until you get maybe to the bosses or the end of the runs where things get challenging. And one of the really cool things about Hades is with the upgrades and things that you select for yourself, it actually lends itself to audience interaction. The audience themselves can be like, oh, I want you to pick this upgrade because this is going to benefit your build in this way, etc., etc. You see what I'm saying? In Deathloop, will there be things like that? Because if there's opportunity for the audience to kind of lend their advice or participate, and we collectively feel like we're learning in the game together, that's one thing. But if it feels like ad nauseum, I'm just doing the same shit over and over, that's more like Returnal, and that's, I feel, not actually going to translate into a good playthrough, for a stream, at least. So, for me, I hear all these outside reviewers saying this game is 9 or 10 out of 10, game of the year. Fine. That's your opinion. But I'm a content creator, right? I'm not just someone playing the game for myself. I'm someone who's doing this for an audience. And my question is Deathloop going to be a game that actually is good enough, that's going to have retention for an audience, or are people going to get bored, and am I going to get bored after 2-3 sessions of this game? I think that's ultimately the question that we're looking to answer when we play a game like this, you see? So, we're going to find out. We're going to find out together. Starting today, we're going to mess around with Deathloop. We're going to try to figure out if the game is something that's going to be a long-term playthrough that's going to be entertaining, because here's the thing. This is the new game for a week. For a whole week, Deathloop is the new game. Last night, if you guys aren't aware, I beat Psychonauts 2. So Psychonauts 2 is complete. I'm about roughly 5 hours away from beating Life is Strange True Colors. So another 1 to 2 sessions of that, I've beaten that. So Deathloop is today and tomorrow. I'm going to probably play Deathloop more on Saturday and Sunday. So you figure between like 4 streams or 3-hour streams, you're already 12, 13 hours into the game. Is this going to be a game that, wow, this was great, and it's you know, retaining, you know, a following, and you want to keep going? Or by this weekend, will we all be bored of Deathloop? That's the question, I feel. Because I feel that there are games that if you play them by yourself, they're spectacular. But when you start playing games for an audience, things change. Just being honest. I love Metroidvania games. I think Metroidvania games are incredibly entertaining, but every time I've ever played a Metroidvania-style game for an audience on the internet, it didn't work. People complain. It's too boring. There's too much open-world exploration, trial and error to try to find, you know, items, upgrades, and abilities in these big labyrinthian maps, and it's not entertaining to watch you go through and wander around them at all. I don't know. See, I love those games, but people just say, doesn't look like something that you want to watch. Maybe something you want to play, but you don't want to watch. That's really what I'm a little concerned about with Deathloop. Even though the formula sounds good on paper, that something could be addicting and fun to play, will it be fun to watch? Returnal wasn't very fun, I feel, to watch. People kind of told me that during the playthrough. But Hades was, because Hades had that element of audience interaction. See? So it's kind of a mix for me, and I'm very curious how this is going to turn out. I hope for the best. I hope this will be a game that you all can interact and have a good time while I play it. We can laugh at some of the stuff that happens, the invasions and everything. It'll be entertaining. I hope. Because I hate it when a game comes out, it's entertaining, but it's not entertaining for the audience. I absolutely hate that. And there's nothing I can really do about that. I can only do so much to make a playthrough entertaining. There are other content creators out there for this isn't a concern for them, because they can just drop a game and move on to another game willy-nilly. For me, this is an investment, you know. This was a $60 investment to play this game. And I want to be sure that we're getting out of it, you know, enough that it's going to be a fun playthrough, you see? So I hope we do. I'm excited for today. You know, I would say this, at the very least, today will probably be the best stream of the game anyway. The first day is always the best when you don't know what to expect when you're going into something new. You know, I'm going to have exploration, you know, new first-time experiences and reactions to everything in the game. It's going to be pretty interesting today, okay? So, I'm excited for this today, okay? Now, funny enough, later tonight, the late stream at 6:45 p.m. Pacific time is Hades. So, we're playing, essentially, a first-person shooter roguelike, and then tonight we're playing an isometric top-down view roguelike. Interesting, right? Now, in Hades, I've been doing pretty damn well recently. I've cleared the game 3 times already, and I'm working on my 4th clear at this point. I'm trying to do it with a completely different build, and I have. I did it with like the gauntlets last time that I played, and I'm hoping that every time that I play it, I can clear it even faster. Last time I cleared it in like 35 minutes. So we'll see tonight what happens. I'm hoping for a 4th clear. You got to beat the game 10 times in order to see the true ending. And we're getting there. We're making good progress every time. I hope you'll join me later tonight at 6:45 p.m. Pacific time for that. Okay? Tomorrow we're doing more Deathloop. All right? I'm doing 2 straight days of Deathloop for you guys. And then tomorrow night, it's Life is Strange True Colors. Now, I want to say something briefly about Life is Strange. I'm going to turn on the camera again. I actually really am enjoying True Colors to the point where I think I'm actually enjoying it more than the original Life is Strange from 6 years ago. The writing, although has some cringy moments, actually is well done to the point where it's actually made me feel about real human emotions. Like this game, her ability, Alex's ability is to feel human emotions and share them and then see the moments that cause those emotions in people, okay? But there's been some serious actual like discussion about how you deal with your emotions and your psyche and the way that you think. It's actually made me think and feel, which a lot of games don't. A lot of games, it's a fucking throw rug game, who cares? This game is one of those games that actually is like, it's resonating, you know? The writing's that good. And yes, there is cringeworthy moments, but it's nowhere near as bad as the previous Life is Strange games. And there's actually an ongoing mystery conspiracy behind the scenes that is unraveling during the course of the game. It's almost like a suspenseful thriller tied in with a game with superpower. It's really interesting. But I hate to say it, much like Psychonauts 2, because previous installments of this game weren't so good, people are just basically saying, meh, I don't want to deal with that. Life is Strange, life is woke, and I don't want to deal with that shit. I'll be honest with you, it's not like that. It's really not like that at all, okay? Life is Strange 2 absolutely was, and I don't fucking blame you if you are staying away from True Colors because you played Life is Strange 2 or watched someone play Life is Strange 2 and you were like, oh my god, it was so preachy bullshit, I can't take it. This game is not like that. It's not. So I'm really enjoying it. And it's silly because there's stereotypes and stuff in it, but you can laugh at that stuff. You can laugh at how silly and stereotypical some of the characters are and stuff and have a good time with it. All right? So I would hope if you have not yet, give my playthrough a shot. I think you're going to find yourself entertained. There's been some really funny moments in the playthrough so far. Already, I believe it's 9 hours live here on DSPGaming, and I'm playing this again tomorrow night, another 2 hours. I suspect probably that and another major stream to finish the game. Okay? All right. Then on Thursday, which is my final consecutive streaming day of this very lengthy streaming week, I'm going to be trying the Call of Duty Vanguard beta for the Xbox Series X. Okay? Previously, I played the alpha on the PS5. I saw how the game ran, and now I'm going to be playing it on the Xbox Series X. There's 2 advantages to this. First of all, I get to see how the game plays in its real multiplayer setting, not that weird mode that was in the alpha, but this is going to be standard kind of deathmatch stuff, which is what everyone wants to play anyway, and that's what you want to know how it's going to play in this game. But in addition, since I'll be playing it on the Series X this time, I'll actually have surround sound, which is excellent. I mean, you kind of want surround sound in a competitive first-person shooter, right? And the Xbox Series X, lo and behold, has dual audio out, and I can actually get fucking surround sound from my Xbox Series X right out of the get-go. So I'm excited to try this out on Thursday. I hope they send me the code because I signed up for it, and they said, you're all registered. We will send you the code when it's closer to the beta time. So I hope they send me the code. If not, this is going to be pretty disappointing, and we'll just do something else. But they basically said, yes, you're all registered and signed up. We will send you the code. So I hope I get it. Okay? So on Thursday, the major stream will be this beta. This is going to be the determining factor for me to decide if I'm going to buy this game in the fall or not. Because there's a couple reasons this year why I'm not sure if I'm buying it. The first is that there's tons of competition with both Battlefield 2042 and Halo coming out within a month's time of this game. The second factor is that the game is made with the Modern Warfare 2019 engine, and I absolutely hated Modern Warfare 2019. I thought the game sucked ass, okay? And then the third and final factor is all that ridiculous drama and nonsense going over at Activision Blizzard, where they're in hot water for mistreating their employees, and I have a hard time throwing those guys money right now. Just being honest. I have like a moral dilemma if I'm going to keep buying games from these guys or not, when we know that they're a bunch of scumbags. They haven't done anything yet to fix the problems. So we'll see what happens with this beta on Thursday, and we'll go from there. Thursday night is my weekly late night throwback session of Street Fighter. Why am I doing it on Thursday night instead of the usual Friday night? Well, it's because Friday is my day off for this week, okay? Then over the weekend, it's going to be more Deathloop and the conclusion of Life is Strange True Colors, okay? I don't think we're going to beat Deathloop, but I'd like to get as far in as I can because on Tuesday is a double new release day. We've got the premiere of Lost Judgment, and I am playing it on the Xbox Series X, all right? And then we got the premiere of Kena Bridge of Spirits, which I'm playing on the PS5. I mean, it's PS5 exclusive, so it's a no-brainer. Both coming out on that Tuesday, the 21st of September. So that will ride us out through the end of the month. It'll be a balance between Deathloop, Lost Judgment, and Kena Bridge of Spirits to head into a very busy gaming month of October. And of course, I'll juggle the late night stuff like I usually do, but some of those games may actually end up being late night streams as well, just to keep advancement going so we don't have stagnation and we have multiple days not playing one of those games. Okay? So, I hope that all sounds good to you guys. I'm excited to obviously check out all this stuff. This is it. Like, today is officially, I feel, the beginning of the busy gaming season. Deathloop, then Lost Judgment, then Kena, and then in October we got a lot of stuff. And I haven't fully updated my calendar yet, but we got the Alan Wake remake, we got Far Cry 6, Metroid Dread. That's all in the first week of October. Back 4 Blood, Battlefield, the new Dark Pictures game, Guardians of the Galaxy. And that's just a few. There's more than that. That's just the games that I have in my schedule for now. I didn't update this in like a month, right? So I'm very excited. DC says, when I said I hated Modern Warfare 2019, did I mean the campaign or the multiplayer? The multiplayer. The campaign was pretty good. The multiplayer was absolutely terrible. It sucked. I hated it. It felt slow. It felt clunky. It felt like everything was so over-animated, you couldn't do anything quickly. It was just incredibly frustrating for me. I'm someone who likes a fast reactions shooter. And everything in that game felt like you were sluggish and underwater. That's why I didn't like it. So. Alright, now ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to direct your attention, please, to the top of your screens. We're at 265 out of 285 members. At one point, we were at 275 members. And then for some reason, in the last week, we stalled. I don't know why. Maybe it's because you guys aren't digging the games that came out. But it's been a good push to get to this monthly goal of 285, where you guys will be able to actually have a hand in picking the Halloween costume that I'm going to be wearing during the Halloween Marathon event. But then all of a sudden we lost 10 members, all right? So this kind of stinks, I'm not going to lie. I like the momentum that we had, where every stream I was able to say, we've hit a new membership total, the highest we've ever had on the channel. That was a great feeling. I want to get that back. So if you are not currently a member, I'm going to urge you, please consider becoming a member here on the channel. There are many positive benefits to becoming a member. You get a highlighted name in the chat. You get access to all of my emotes. There's currently 20. And when we hit every 50 new members, we get another one unlocked, okay? You get a cool chat crown badge to show how long you've been an ongoing supporter. And you don't have to abide by the slow mode rules that I've set up in order to avoid trolling. You get all those cool benefits, all right? Now, another exclusive benefit that you're about to get if you're a member is that I'm going to set up a members-only community post where you're going to be able to nominate games that you want to see me play during the Halloween event coming up. And the members themselves, just that one small group of, you know, a few hundred people here, are going to be able to select one of the games for the upcoming marathon, okay? Outside of that, other people will be able to select, but that's going to be open nominations on my forums. That's going to have a hell of a lot more nominations. It's going to get a hell of a lot harder to get a game that you want to see during the marathon get played than if you're a member, all right? So I urge you, become a member. You get many cool benefits. And by the way, I got asked the question, well, if I'm a member, can I still nominate in the open nominations as well? Yes. You can post up in the members only post that'll be going up soon, and you'll be able to post up in the open nominations thread. Okay, you'll get both. By the way, no, none of that exists yet. I was hoping to get that live for you guys over the weekend, but this weekend ended up being one of the craziest, busiest weekends ever. Every day behind the scenes, when I thought, oh, I'll have some time to do something, something else would happen, and it would cause me to be delayed and not be able to fucking do what I thought I was going to be able to do. So it's frustrating in that regard, and I apologize. I wanted to get that live for you guys. It's not yet, but I promise you I will have that live. Before I go on break this week, I will have that shit live for you guys. Okay? I absolutely promise you. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm an independent content creator, and what that means is I don't have any partnerships or sponsorships with anybody. I don't have any backing from anywhere. For 13 years, on a daily basis, I've been sharing my raw gameplay experiences with you guys on the internet, first as an on-demand content creator on YouTube, and now as a full-time live streamer. I love what I do because I have a passion for games. Been a gamer since I was a kid. It is my lifelong hobby and passion. I absolutely love doing it. And I thank you guys for allowing me to keep doing what I love for a living. I realize how incredibly lucky that I am to be able to do this for a living because of your support. That's the only reason I can do it. Your crowdfunding support is what lets me do what I love. Thank you, and thank you so much. All right? So how could you support this stream if you like this kind of content? Someone who doesn't pull punches, is honest with their reactions when they play a game, doesn't kiss butt because there's no sponsorships on the line. Do you like that kind of content? I hope you do, because that's what you're going to get here. How can you support it? Well, I've already mentioned you can become a channel member. That's number one. Number two, you can do a super chat or a super sticker. These are ways to contribute through YouTube itself. You get a highlighted message in the stream chat if you do those methods. And if you become a member or a super chat or super sticker, those things help this channel in the long term. Since I became a full-time streamer here on YouTube over 3 months ago, I'm trying to build this channel up to where it was when I was a full-time streamer on Twitch. It's a slow build. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate all of your support, but man, I lost a lot of support when I moved over here, particularly in the subscribers department, which they're called members here. I went from 900 to like 200. So it's a really tough climb. I know that over the next few months with the new games coming out, likely we'll have more people coming over and watching and supporting, and I appreciate that, but we've got to get to that point, okay? Now, if you want to help me out in the best way possible, the best way to support this stream is by tipping me, because when you tip me, there's 2 reasons why this is better than other ways. Number one, excuse me. I was about to cough, so I said, let me clear my throat. Excuse me. Number one, I get those funds immediately. And that means I can put those funds towards something important, like paying a bill, buying a video game, going grocery shopping, etc. Okay? Having those funds gives me liquidity to do stuff with my business on a daily basis. But in addition, when you tip me, the less fees get taken out of tips than any other contribution method. So you are giving the most if you tip. I'm not saying don't become a member or anything else. Like, I love the memberships, and the super chat support is outstanding. They are completely reasonable and very effective ways of supporting this channel. But the tip is definitely the best way to support if you can. All right. So how do you tip? Well, if you look at the description of this stream, there is a link that you could go to. All right, if you would like to go ahead and support the stream via that, or you can just type !tip to the stream chat. That brings up a link. You can click on that link publicly. It'll be listed in the chat itself at the bottom. Okay. Now, since tips are so important, we have rewards in effect. If you tip me $50 on today's stream, all right, total, not just one person. If total we raise $50 in tips, I'll put on my Gunner glasses. If we raise $100 in tips, you guys get to choose a hat to wear today, and the hats are as follow: the digital, the military style, the camo boonie hat, and the fake platinum tips hair hat. All right, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I think I'm going back on that because I just realized today's a new release day. I want to wear my headphones today. All right, I cannot wear the headphones with the military hat. It's just not possible. The other hats I could. So I'm gonna say today's the digital, the camo, and the platinum tips hair hat are the ones eligible. I can't wear it with the military hat. There's no way I'll be able to wear the headphones. All right. Later tonight, I'll adjust that, and then the military hat will be back into the swing of things tonight because I won't wear headphones when I play Hades. But it's a new release. I want to hear the game during the new release day. Okay. Same reason why I'm not going to have the cowboy hat eligible. I cannot wear the headphones when I have the cowboy hat on. Okay. So that's what's going on with the hats today. Now, if we do the full tips goal of $150, you guys get to pick a vest for me to wear. All right. Today's vest, we will just go right back and have all the favorite vests eligible. Okay. The red, the platinum, the denim, and the gold by far are the vests that you guys vote for the most. So we'll have all 4 of those eligible today if we hit the full tips goal. All right. Sound good? I hope so. Thank you guys in advance. Now, there's only one gaming news story I want to talk about today. Okay. Dying Light 2 has once again been delayed. For those who aren't aware, Dying Light 2 was supposed to come out, no exaggeration, like 2 years ago. This is the sequel to the open world zombie survival game where parkour is a major part of it, but there's also a lot of combat, abilities, and open skill tree that you basically level up over time. When it came out, I played it and was enjoying it until I realized the game was rife with bugs, okay? One of the bugs that happened during my playthrough of the original Dying Light, my entire skill tree reset, and then the game gave me all of my skill points back, but only available in one tree. There's 3 different trees you could upgrade in the game. Essentially, the game said you don't get, like, combat abilities. Instead, you're just going to get parkour abilities. So all of a sudden, halfway through the game, I was able to unlock the highest level parkour ability, the grappling hook, and I was able to, like, swing through the game like Spider-Man way before you were ever supposed to unlock that ability, which was really silly. The game also had tons of bugs where you could go into areas you weren't supposed to be in. I went to this whole rendered area that wasn't supposed to render properly. It was a glitchy mess. The game was fun, don't get me wrong, but my God, it was one of the most glitchy games I'd ever played in my life. So essentially, the game was good, but it lacked polish, okay? So Dying Light 2 has been in development for some ridiculously long time. I want to go as far to say maybe 5 years at this point, okay? We've gotten hints, we've gotten updates, we've gotten full-on gameplay trailers, and then eventually they said it was going to come out like last year, then they delayed it and said this year, then they finally said, oh, it'll be December of this year. They've now delayed it again, and the game will not be coming out until either February or March of 2022. They're saying they're going to delay it another 2 months, essentially, from its December release date, which would put it right smack dab in the middle of some of the busiest gaming months ever. Most of the games that were supposed to come out last year or this year and were delayed are coming out either in February or March. I'm not exaggerating. Within 1 month's time, there's going to be like 10 to 15 major releases next year. And now Dying Light is saying, we're delaying the game until that window. And it's like, what? Like, listen, I understand. If the game's not done, don't release it. I don't want it to be buggy as shit like Dying Light 1 was. But that's a really bad time to release it. It really is. Like, there's already too much coming out. And what's going to end up happening is all those games are going to cannibalize each other. There's going to be so many games coming out in a short time, you're going to see dramatically reduced sales than if they were more spread out. So I think that this is a bad move. They should find a better time than releasing it amongst the time when everyone else was already putting out their games. Just doesn't sound good to me. Okay? Now, why are they delaying the game? Because they're claiming the game needs more polish. All right? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm okay with games being delayed to make them better. But I really hope Dying Light 2 is not the next Cyberpunk. And what I mean by that is if you look at the history of Cyberpunk, they essentially went through exactly the same thing that we're seeing here with Dying Light 2, right? They kept promising, then couldn't live up to the promise, delay. They would show more and then not be able to actually implement what they were showing in the game. It didn't work, okay? They, you know, so many things over the course of Cyberpunk they promised and weren't in the final game. Cyberpunk delayed itself 3 times during its final year of development, and when it finally came out, claiming that the final delay was for polish, that game was a piece of dog shit. The plot, mostly. The gameplay elements, the world itself, it was all shit. It was a complete overpromise, underdeliver situation, right? So normally, when you hear a few delays or whatever, you're like, okay, well, that's fine. You know, I'm glad that they're taking the time to make it better. But when you have a game that's been in development hell for 5+ years, and you're telling me you still are delaying it repeatedly, oh, it needs more polish, you know what that tells me? The game just isn't that good. The game has issues, and finally the publisher's probably telling them, listen, enough is enough. You gotta release this fucking game. We put so much time and effort into it, and money, that we've gotta release it at this point. And they're like, well, it still doesn't work. Look, it's all broken. Well, I guess we'll give you a couple more months, but you see what I mean? Like, at some point you gotta realize when they keep asking for more time, it's probably because the game isn't that good, you know? And that's what I'm worried about with Dying Light 2, is that we've all waited so long for this game, it's probably going to come out and be broken to shit. Because at one point, the publisher's just going to throw their hands up in the air and be like, it doesn't seem like any amount of time we give these people is this game going to be good. We might as well just release it as is and take the loss, right? So I guess we're going to see what happens. I'm not wishing that to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want the game to be good. I was hoping Dying Light 2. I said this during Dying Light 1. I said, man, if this game just didn't have all these unpolished game bugs, this would have been an outstanding game. But the problem was it had so many fucking bugs that it ended up being annoying as shit. Okay? So, to me, I want the game to be good. I want them to learn from the mistakes of Dying Light 1 and make this game worth playing. But I don't know if that's going to happen at this rate. because they just keep delaying it more, and that's just, it's, for me, it's more of a troubling sign than anything else. They're telling me they just don't know how to make this game finished, and you know what I mean? So, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see what happens, but I'm hoping for the best, but I'm not feeling too positive about it, just being honest here. Okay? Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, let's get to shoutouts. First of all, shout out to GJ, who became a channel supporter today. Thank you very much, GJ, for the support. Let's get that up on the added to the total members. We're at 266 now and climbing, so thank you so very much for that. Tips. We start off, our first tip today is Anzo Kamaru, who tipped me $1.50. Says, I think you'll really like the main character of Deathloop. The dude is hilarious. His voice acting is masterclass. The whole mystery behind everything is really interesting too, so I hope you enjoy. I played 45 minutes during my lunch break, and I want to just keep going. Sounds awesome. Thank you. I'm, again, excited to jump in and get our first few hours of the game today. CM Fool is back. He tipped me $4.20. He says, I heard in an interview with the Elden Ring developers, they joked that if you die, you have to go back to the character creator screen. What are your thoughts on this? I'm pretty sure that's not the case. I'm pretty sure that if you die once, it's not go back to the beginning and start everything over. But that being said, there are games like that. And some people like them. Some people like that ultimate high-level challenge. Oh my god, it's either get good or get fucked, right? But that would be an I would be interesting if they have that game mode. Because that would be the ultimate challenge for these people who like to do these insanely high-level challenge runs. Would be you must beat the game in one go or you're fucked, right? So I guess we'll see. Then CM Fool tipped another $4.20. Says, I know how you feel with Psychonauts 2 and Life is Strange 2, where there's a great game, if not the best game of the decade. I don't know about that. But people are told it's bad, so they think it's bad just like The Quiet Man. Oh, now see, now that's bullshit. Now that's bullshit. The Quiet Man sucks ass. It literally bends over, spreads the cheeks, and sucks the butt. That's The Quiet Man in a nutshell. And I know that because I played it. I'm not just saying that I played it. The game stinks. So, that's not the same situation at all. How dare you even say that? Who's Lose to the $1.15 says, ever thought about revisiting the 10-year plan again? I mean, if I ever do think about revisiting a plan, it would be my business, not yours. So, mind your own business. Thank you very much for the tip. Healing Seattle Air did a super chat, says, why do you crap on Miyamoto so much? I don't. In fact, I couldn't even tell you the last time I mentioned Miyamoto. I don't even know what you're talking about. Sounds like you're nuts. But thank you for the super chat. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So, let's take a break, okay? Let's take a break. And I'll use the restroom. I recommend you guys grab a drink or a snack. Use the restroom yourselves. I'm going to come back in just a couple minutes here. It's time for Deathloop to start. We're going to see what this game finally is all about and judge for ourselves. Like I said, I'm not going to allow the insanely butt-kissing reviews from the mainstream media influence me. I'm going to play the game for myself and see if I like it. I hope I do. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you all in a few for Deathloop. Thanks, guys, and see you in a bit.